Hello and welcome to the Edfund Writing Center's screencast tutorial on plagiarism. So today we're going to be talking about everybody's favorite subject, because sometimes the lines get blurred and we gotta know where that line is. So, the definition of plagiarism. In an instructional setting, plagiarism occurs when a writer deliberately uses someone else's language, ideas, or other original material without acknowledging its source. And guess what? That was an example, because I had not cited the source there. In case you were wondering, it's from the Council of Writing Program Administrators. That's actually a really good website to visit if you want to. Alrighty. Why is it such a big concern? Well, especially in this day and age. We have the internet, so it's easy to Google an answer, and it doesn't feel like you're plagiarizing. There's a lot of high-pressure school settings, because people, as time goes on, everything just gets more and more competitive. And if students know that they can get an A, if they take the right information, they don't want to risk being wrong, so they might as well. And if you have the choice between earning a C and plagiarizing for an A, which would you take? I mean, everybody wants the A, so sometimes it can be really hard to, repress that urge. There are some pros and cons to using the internet. Pros, there's accessible information. It's virtually free. Documents in the public domain are always online. Cons, there's no accountability, there's so much temptation to just plagiarize, and it also makes us procrastinate. Another thing about the internet is, especially if you're taking information where you're not really citing your sources, maybe you got it from a bad source, because clearly Abraham Lincoln did not say anything about quotes on the internet. I think that's just really funny. Idea plagiarism is the next thing we're going to be talking about. So plagiarism isn't just taking word for word what another person says. It can also just be taking another person's idea and presenting it as your own. So that includes paraphrasing. So if you take one person's idea and just say it in your own words, that still sort of counts as plagiarism. So you want to make sure that you're using your own ideas. And if you do mention somebody else's idea, make sure that you mention from whom it came, and just give credit where credit's due. There is a difference between accidentally citing a source incorrectly, or plagiarizing. So I'm not going to read this whole thing, but basically you can pause and read this if you want to. Basically, if you try and cite a source, like you actually try to cite the source, and you just do it incorrectly, that's not plagiarism, that's misuse of sources, and in my opinion, it's not as bad as plagiarism, because at least you're trying to cite the source. You gotta put some effort in. Alright, so here are some scenarios. This is kind of silly. Just read over these. You can pause the screencast and just decide what you think. And then, okay, just pause. Alright, so the first one, we'll read over it. It says, I was really busy last night, and I didn't read Antigone, but we're supposed to have taken notes. I looked up a summary online and copied some of the main points onto my own paper. Alright, so this scenario includes paraphrasing, and it includes looking up other information online, and so that is actually plagiarism. The second scenario. Nobody ever taught me how to cite a website, but I really need to use this one online source for my history essay. So, this person obviously tried to cite the page, so that is not plagiarism. That's possibly a misuse of sources, but at least you're trying. The third one, history fair is today, and my partner never finished the last page on our website. I stayed up really late last night trying to finish, but I couldn't find the source to order my quotes. I scanned through the bibliography for something that looked like it could be related to the quote, and used that as my citation. I don't know if it's right, but I'll fix it later. That is plagiarism, because you are not giving credit to the right source. So it might not seem like it, but it actually is. Alrighty, we'll do the next guy here. Alright, this is just a fun little sort of line to show you where things fall on this deliberate versus possibly accidental plagiarism. So it's just something that I found on the internet. This stuff is just clearly, buying a paper is just never a good idea. That's a horrible plan. Copying from other sources is also a pretty bad idea. Using the source too closely when paraphrasing, sometimes this stuff happens accidentally. And that's one thing that you want to look out for. You want to read over what you've written and make sure it doesn't, just rephrase what you've already read in a different source, and that's just something that you should always be looking out for, because it can happen unintentionally. Bottom line, it is cheating. Spark notes don't have the right answers, and teachers do read them. I've had teachers tell my class on multiple occasions that they look over the Spark notes and make sure that the questions on tests do not have the answers on Spark notes. Your teachers want you to make mistakes, You know, what did they do before the internet? The internet has only been around for, a very relatively short period of time. So what did people do before then? If you cite something wrong, it's better than not citing at all. So just hope you take these into consideration. Hope this helped, and good luck with everything you do.